Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Life Theories. We've got Diana with you from Trailblazers of the Universe, Jay from Journey of a Whitefeather, and myself, Sarah from Big Soul Healing. And today's episode, we are going to talk about all of the shifts and transits that are happening and everything that we are experiencing going through this big, major universal shift. Right now, before we started taping, just started talking about how much we've noticed the glow in each other and how much we are all growing since we started not just doing life theories together, but since we started on our path and when we met each other. And it's really important to discuss, I feel, and we all feel, where we've come from, how we've gotten there, and where we're on our way to, or what we're on our way to experiencing now in this new transit. So yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about
where you're at. Where you're at, Susanna Hoffs. Anyone knows Susanna Hoffs is? Yeah, okay. Can't start whipping about a walk like an Egyptian or a bit of Manic Monday. What do you think? Because I mean, you've come into yourself. Yeah, she's singing. Look out! You come into we all come into our purpose. I think going into our heart chakras. I mean, you know, I'm going to give you a quick plug to Jay and Jackie's podcast on Twin Flame Journey. There you go. Shameless plug, but
good podcast. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
We go
apparently.
deep. You know, they go deep. We're all like deep divers into stuff that people don't talk about. And I think it's good that we don't just talk about the love and the light. We talk about like the darkness too and how we've overcome it. Yeah, and it's a journey.
It's so important.
Yeah.
It is. What do you think, Sarah? Because I mean, you've come into your power. Because I, as I said, I've always joked that you're Raven from Titans. You're showing me every day that you're best friends with the universe. If you get, oh hi, this is Sarah. I'm best friends. I'm Super Sarah. I'm 5 foot nothing, but yeah, don't knock with me.
Yeah, no, the experiences that I've been just witnessing and going through in the last couple of months. I recently finished my class with Mia that ended last week. So the viewers that are watching that don't know, for the last 3 months, I was involved in Mia Magic's Sorceress program. It was a 3-month, once a week group meeting of me and 50 or so other students, being hosted by Mia Magic. And I just spent the last 3 months learning really intently how to reconnect to the earth, how to reconnect to my body, which is a direct reflection of the earth, and how to do spell work, how to heal trauma using movement and the elements, and basically you're
becoming one of the charm girls.
Yeah.
You're becoming you're becoming a bloody witch.
Look, she has her broom in the background. She has her witch broom.
Yeah. Broom. And actually that broom was actually a gift from Willer, my roommate and best friend.
Geez, you have got a broom there. Hang on, I thought you were joking.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like traditional, like that broom is made and crafted.
Start sweeping during Halloween.
That's actually an old world crafted broom that was made here on Granville Island. And the woman that makes them, she uses old world techniques that go back to the European days of witching, when witches used their brooms, which were actually their staffs or their wands, and they would cover the magical end, like the quartz end or whatever sort of scepter they had at the end of their staff, with the broom bristles so that they wouldn't be dragged off and taken away as a witch. And that's the history of the witch's broom. Witches had brooms because they were actually the witch's wands and scepters, but to make it a disguise like a regular household item, they put that really cool little bristly bunch. And if you see, like, there's a bulbousy part, like, I don't know, like the second in between those two black lines there, that's where the scepter part would be, like right in between here.
So the end bit, so that black bit I can see.
Yeah,
that's
like
that's the addition.
Lines of string.
Wow.
And if, like, in the old world traditions, like the way that that's woven around would be to hold tightly around the scepter so that it wouldn't fall apart if somebody were to like come and shake it and try to be like, you're a witch, and like burn them. So they would craft them specifically like that to hold shape so that they could be used as a broom and not fall apart. But also, you can take that apart pretty easily if you just snip the thread, it just falls apart.
Okay.
So it's a really cool thing. And I learned a little bit about that from the women who made it and a little bit about that from Mia. And yeah, it's really cool that, you know, my roommate and best friend just decided, hey, I'm really like loving what you're doing and honoring yourself and like jumping into your witchy roots, and like it's really beautiful to watch you grow and experience this, and I want to give you a gift. So he took me down to the shop that makes these brooms. He happens to be friends with the owner, and he's like, I'm gonna get you a witchy gift. And he let me pick out whichever one spoke to me, and it's got that beautiful, awesome, wiggly handle. It's so fucking cool. I'm like in love with that thing.
Would you say, like, I'm obviously on the Halloween, Halloween's my Christmas, and I actually, now that I'm right into, you know, researching all this kind of stuff and getting to know obviously the twin flame sort of things, it's opened my eyes to, you know, I loved the history of Halloween, which we won't talk about on this podcast because we could get barred. Oh, because there's certain things that'll come up that we might get stuff that the algorithm won't like it. Anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, just with this, with regards to traditions and stuff of the earth, that what us as earth warriors come across, you know, when the pagans went out, you know, and connected with and really connected as a person of the earth, like we do with what the animals do. We've sort of lost that, being trained, being lost with that, with being, you know, programmed the way our egos have been manipulated and programmed, as far as I'm concerned. And that's what's happened with Halloween as well. There's a lot of stuff you can look up, which we'll probably do a Halloween special now. But what have you uncovered going deep into this stuff, Sarah? Well, you can tell all our viewers, our millions and millions of viewers, that always go, oh, look, there's witchy poo or whatever it is, but there's a lot more to it, if you know what I mean. So you look at the shows like Charmed and all that kind of stuff, there's a lot more to it being connected to the earth. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, like, where should I begin?
Wherever. Just whatever your experiences are more than I'll just go with your experiences. Like everyone says,
like from what I've experienced and what I've witnessed, it's all you know, like in my path in learning to become a witch and deciding that that's what was for me. It all actually kind of came about because I was trying to do my healing. Like I was doing a lot of spiritual practices for my own personal healing for the arthritis and my own trauma release and like mental health stuff that I've got going on. And I really was starting to feel disconnected. Like I was only getting to a certain point with my healing, and I just couldn't, like, I couldn't get past a certain level, and I could feel that. And it almost felt like it wasn't right for me, like I was disconnected from it. And I don't know if you guys remember, but in the summertime, I was living in a different house.
Yes.
Briefly. And in that house, I was living with my friend Saran, who was born in India and is a traditional Ayurvedic practitioner. And he immigrated to Canada at a very young age. And he discussed with me while I was living with him a phenomenon that really bothered him in our society, and it was the phenomenon of the spiritual white woman, and this is his words basically. And he's like, due to the colonization of the Romans coming in and basically taking all spirituality away from European cultures and turning it to religion with the Catholic Church, It basically stripped European people, like women of European descent, of their spiritual heritage. If you wanted to practice your spiritual heritage as a European woman, you would get raped, pillaged, burnt at the stake, abused, like just everything bad would happen to you. And it was taken away from you. So in modern cultures, because we had nothing to fall back on, because it was all eradicated from our history and marked as bad, when really it was just the Europeans' way of connecting with nature for healing. And it was very similar to a lot of native cultures, the way that
why the American Indians and the
yeah,
indigenous people of
the
Australia.
indigenous people of all over the world.
Yep.
There was indigenous people in Europe as well before colonization, but that all of those practices got burnt, eradicated, raped, and pillaged out of history, and been told you're bad and you're evil and you're the devil, you're a devil worshiper if you are a witch, and like there's nothing good about witchcraft, you're bad. And we got told
but look at what witchcraft is. If they want to go, okay, we're talking about it now. Okay,
if you actually look at the word witch, the translation, it's an old Germanic word, and all it means is wise. Witch means wise. Witchcraft,
what we're doing,
wisecraft. It's building your own inner wisdom and intuition up to be able to help heal yourself and the community.
This is exactly what I was saying. Like we look at it, what happened with Halloween. As I said, all the traditions were taken, which we'll have a Halloween special. We'll have to remind ourselves. Diana's really good at keeping us on track with that Halloween special, looking at what happened, and they actually took it, mate, and commercialized it. Look, I'm not complaining in the commercialization of it and all that stuff, but then once you go into what we're doing, you go, rightio, I'll still enjoy it for what it is, and this is exactly what we should be doing, enjoying dressing up, having fun, but what was the actual deeper meaning and whatever happened to get to this point? And then when you look into it, I mean, I can start talking about the Disney shows. Let's
kind of try to stay on topic a little bit here, though, because like this kind of goes into like going into the land, right? Like all of the teachings that are available to us are also available in the land, and there's different ways in which you can gain this knowledge from going out and spending time in nature and spending time with the trees. There are different ways that you can communicate with trees. I'm learning how to do that now, and how to go into meditation and do grounding, sitting in the trees and like putting a hand on a tree and asking it to give you the information that you need. You'll get it. If you're clear enough and you're an open channel and you sit and you spend time with the trees, they will give you all the information that you need. Any plant on this planet can give you the information that you need. Putting your feet in a running river can also help you, give you information and bring new flow into your life and cleanse your body. Like there are so many things that we have been taught, and like I'm sort of speaking from like the witch perspective, that we're beaten and like just totally eradicated from our minds, our thoughts, and everything. But that information and that medicine is still existent in the land.
Yeah,
it's still there, and it's still existent in our intuition too. Like we can tap into that, but we were just told over and over and over again, if you do that, or if you identify as a witch, this is bad. When really they're telling you, if you identify as someone who listens to their inner wisdom or the wisdom of nature, you're bad. How is
you're that listening to someone else?
How is that even truth? Like,
well, it's happening in the world. Have a look at
it. The truth of a colonizer that came in and eradicated the truth of the land and the people for their own personal gain. That's not my.
Still doing it. What are you talking about? They're still doing it.
They're still doing it. That's basically our entire planet got switched over when that Roman Empire came in and eradicated all of the witches and eradicated all of the natural healing happening in Europe, and basically saying there's nothing natural about it. It's evil. It's the devil's work. It's bad. If you want to be saved, you got to go to church. You got to go to this building. You got to give us the money. You have to do all of this and bow to us and listen to these rules. It took away your power. It takes away your intuition. It makes you feel fucking bad and wrong for listening to yourself instead of their rules. And that's not the kind of life that I want to live. That's not the kind of life I ever wanted to live. And when I was learning about my own, or learning to embrace spirituality as someone who is a really deep, strong European descent, like I'm 3/4 German. There's like, and the other part of me is Swiss and Scandinavian. Like I'm European through and through. Like the word witch, like it's old Germanic, so am I. Like I am a witch and like in my bloodlines. So when I'm here as a spiritual person in the modern ages, looking to Ayurvedic medicine or yogic practices or Tai Chi or all of these things that really aren't in my DNA, they're in the DNA of people of Asian and Indian descents. That's in their bloodline. I can still tap into that because we are all one in the human collective, but I'm not going to get the full benefit of that because it's not ingrained in my DNA. It's not ingrained in my structure, in my cellular.
But it is now. Well, I'll step in there. Of course it is now because you're tapping into the earth's power. And
it being is an actual now, or it can be more so now, but
they're all teachings. It's like Buddha and Zen are all teachings.
But I wasn't able to fully receive the benefits of them because it wasn't aligning with my structure, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah, 100%.
I can make use of those things better now because I'm more aligned with my actual structure and like my actual inner knowledge as someone who practices witchcraft. And
the earth magic.
Yeah, and it's I do feel like it's important to also recognize like the difference between black magic and or like dark magic and light magic, or like black and white, and you know, that whole spectrum. The difference here is magic is great and wonderful, but it should only be used for self. Like if you're putting a spell, you should never be putting a spell on somebody
like
else.
A love spell.
Yeah, but that's personal gain.
The moment you use your magic to manipulate the life or emotion or feelings of another, that's black magic.
Yeah, I agree.
The moment you are using it to benefit your personal experience,
your personal,
you keep it for yourself, and you use your intuition to build on your own inner world, that's light magic, because you can actually affect the outer world by working
in a positive way,
in a more positive way than directly trying to manipulate the energies around other
manipulating
people.
The outside. Instead, you're working on the inside, and that reflects on the outside. Instead of trying to manipulate, you're trying to control a circumstance or get this to go your way.
Your inner world exactly the way that you want it with your magic, your outer world will reflect that.
Yeah.
You don't need to be putting spells on other people and going out and casting magic on other people because they done you wrong, or you want to be in a relationship with that particular person.
Well, you can't do that. You can't. It's like doing anything.
It's going to backfire anyway. Yeah.
That's when it comes into black magic, and that's why it backfires, because all these crossfires of information.
And your intention was to get,
The intention
that's the thing.
isn't always
personal
pure.
gain.
If there's a manipulative intention, there will be manipulative forces happening to make that work, and you may not benefit the way that you want to from it. So
but you have a look at the ego, right? What you're saying, you can take it to the next part where you got the ego, right? So, you know, we're always told to stand up for ourselves and all those kind of things, right? But then the ego gets involved, and I have to actually belt the crap out of someone or do something like that, or put a bloody spell on them and all that kind of crap. You don't actually do that. All you got to do is stand up. Exactly what it says in the first line. Stand up for yourself and just stand there, because in your energy, right, if you're standing up, say a man standing up for his woman or whatever else, you just got to stand there. You don't have to say anything. I worked that out because everything else is moved to ego. So if you look at what you're saying, and then when you actually do your connective practices with the earth, you're actually working from heart, not ego. So if you're working from ego, you're using them against it. You're using it against the natural flame, the natural progression of what actually happens.
Yeah.
What do you think, Di?
Well, I think this is an interesting topic because the thing I keep getting, the downloads I keep getting, I'm as we're talking about working with the elements and everything, is pretty much like back to the basics, like with the frequency shift that's going on the planet, with the chaos, right? All things, and a lot of people are disconnected from themselves, disconnected from the earth. But for the earth to go in the frequency it's going in, to shift like that, we need to connect more with it and with the elements. Like today, I went out in nature. We went out to we went to like a lake. We were barefoot in the grass. We were just walking around the trees. You know, I put my phone away, right? Or maybe to record some TikToks, but like enjoying for the most part, you know,
but they have progression with the TikToks. You're doing something to help others. So you're giving.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason I'm doing it is to show people to get grounded, because everyone's on their phone all the time. Everyone's on a computer screen, and me included. I mean, I'm at work all day on a 9-to-5 job, and then I record content, and then you be on your phone when you get home. It's a lot. And I'm all over the place promoting all my shit too. So it's a lot. And sometimes it can be overstimulation. And I'll be wondering why I feel anxious some days. And so I think it's about balancing. And when you ground yourself more, or connect to more of the earth elements, even water. I'll put my foot in like a stream or something sometimes. I'll walk around barefoot in the grass. Even the element of fire, right? Even watching like a candle flame, or like
cold showers is always good.
Huh?
Cold showers.
Yeah, and I mean,
doing that for the last
I take a lot of baths and everything too, and even the air, just breathing the fresh air. Like when I was struggling with some darker stuff recently, that I literally couldn't get out of any other way. I even meditated and everything, but when I work with the elements, when I went outside, got some fresh air, got some sunlight, you know, or in the water or something, when I work more with that, like, it does stabilize me more. And I think right now it's important to have a stable foundation to ground yourself. And we have new moon, and we're in, I guess we're in Gemini season now. But
it's still Taurus. The new moon was just in Taurus.
Yeah. So so the new moon was in Taurus. So it's all about grounding, finding. I made a video on it. Or I just made like a short. I put on TikTok. It's about like finding stability, finding security, and a lot of that is just back to the basics. Like even enjoying the small comforts in life, eating some good foods, like smelling, like getting more in touch with your senses.
Do you think you've got a Di? I wanted to ask you with all your stuff, right? And I think I'll take this to both of you. Now I've noticed it. Obviously, in our voices, we can tell. I can tell in all our voices we've transformed. Okay. I think we're coming more into our purpose. We're more transformed. Talking about the actual collective of people, 3D to 5D. As I say, I'll make the joke about Doctor Strange and floating around and looking above. Now it's getting even worse. Do you think transitioning into that and looking down, do you feel you can see more with what's going on? You can see the spiritual chaos that's happening out there, with the veil being so I guess the veil being so thin, and you can feel the energy of other people. I know I am.
Oh,
what do you guys
it's a
think?
lot more than
what
usual. And I mean, that's why I have to kind of, and I can pick up on a lot of things. Sometimes we're absorbing stuff that isn't, or some of those dark emotions. Yes, it is like we're going through a collective dark night of the soul. Like I would say, a lot of people are doing shadow work because the lower stuff has to come to the surface, and a lot of you see what's being revealed in the media now. Some of the stuff's like, really, you're really pushing that out, like. I was like, okay. I mean, we've already been talking about this way before, all this stuff, but it's like, and it's just, a lot of people's belief systems are being crushed, right? So I do see the chaos, and I'm just being selective on who I share, my energy with. And, I was talking to him about, we're talking about how attachments and everything, how and Sarah's worked with me too, and we've had attachments, how easy it is to get attachments, even from someone coming in your place, right? Sometimes they bring things with them, right? So, I'm just being mindful. I'm not saying I'm paranoid, but I am being very mindful of how I feel around people. And the veil is thinner. Sometimes I pick on weird things from people, even people you've known for a while, right? Because it's thinner, your awareness is there. The veil is being lifted, so you're seeing how people really are. And sometimes it's family members, sometimes it's friends you've known for a long time. And it's a big thing because some of them I just know now. I don't think our lives are going the same direction. I don't know if I don't know if I resonate, and I have to make some decisions or spending less and less time with them and starting to separate, and eventually could just be cut off completely. But I'm really seeing, and I'm seeing different sides of people. I'm seeing like dark. I mean, everyone has dark and light, right? We all do. But some people I'm really seeing, like, I don't know why I'm seeing something different with certain people I've known for a while. Like different sides to them, like just them starting up a lot. It could be, if it's online friends, maybe them starting up drama, like for no reason, like stuff that I never really saw that side of them. And maybe, everyone has a side, but like I have more awareness. And even people like in person that I'm friends with, just they're different. I'm looking at them, I see something different now. It's like I didn't see it before, and I know I was in like different phases of my life, but I just think it's something weird. When I go onto public, I pick up on a lot more now. And, he told me my psychic intuition is really improving, especially, now that we met and everything. But it's just like, I feel like my intuitions, like things are picking up a lot, and I'm becoming more, I got more of the clairaudience, like the clairsentience and the clair, like cognizant, like some things I just know, and I just pick up on these things. I don't really get the visions, but, I just know things. I feel things. I hear things, and, it's like, what's going on? But all this stuff was going on. I'm just aware of it. I'm connecting to it. And I think we're all going through it at some level, where some of us are getting more downloads. All of our senses are like increasing. All of our spiritual gifts, I think, are really like improving right now. Some of it's overwhelming. Like, oh man, this is what's been going on I was like, how did I not see? Like, it's weird. I can't explain. It's weird. It's like another level of awakening. It's like a different level. We've been awakening. We going through the stage, but this, whether it's ascension, frequency shift, whatever, just becoming more in tune, the veil being, they just stuff. It's different now. My reality is pretty like different. I mean, it's still the same, but I'm looking at things in a different way. It's a higher consciousness, awareness,
Yeah. I'm definitely.
What do you think, Sarah?
I'm definitely looking at things a different way too.
Things are trippy. It looks like when I go on a public. Okay, so we talk sometimes. Like sometimes we go on a public and things look like almost like unreal. Like sometimes I'm looking at buildings, I'm looking at people, and I know we talked about backdrop people. We talked about all that kind of stuff, but now things I go in public sometimes, and I'm like, why does this look so like fake? Everything looks fake.
Who's seen The Sims?
I just. What's that?
It looks like The Sims.
The Sims, yeah. And I'm like, is it just
it
me?
Looks like The Sims.
Yeah, I mean, I know I moved.
I saw a guy moving really weird the other day. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, it was just.
I've seen
like
that too. Yeah, people are moving weird. Yeah, it's different.
Like
those games.
Like, what was that? Like,
those games where you sort of see people just moving, like
they're just moving in spot.
No, they're just walking around like they've got no idea what's going on. They're sort of, they're like transitioned. It is
a zombie apocalypse, right? I mean, I do believe this is becoming because I've seen some things that are
don't even look at zombies. I swear to God, I have way too many like weird things in my life that link up to there might be zombies in this fucking lifetime. Just don't, just don't with the zombies, okay?
It's true, man. It is. Well, we
talk about dark gods.
Don't go down that track. Well,
don't go down that track because it all starts.
Stories like I'm serious as fucked up. Like it's fucked.
Don't go down that path. I'll start.
I even have like a zombie Elmira tattooed on my arm because I thought at one point I was like, yeah, zombies, and now I'm like, I don't want to even manifest that. Why did I get that tattooed on me? Like, why am I manifesting this shit? Like, no.
My friend wants to come and play.
Yeah, well, he can play with Elmira. She's got her buddy.
Cool.
Oh, Elvira. Actually, talk about Elvira. Very funny.
It's Elmira from Tiny Toons and the bird she loved to death.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a story with him now. I've worked out what it's all about. Anyway, he's not. He's a very nice person. He's actually a Superman, an ugly Superman. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Yeah. So there's just this different collective with what we're feeling. And I know it's really weird that you will be letting go. Obviously, I went through what I went through, and it opened up the gates of hell, if you want to call it that way. But like I said, I pushed through the forbidden door into my deep, dark and stuff that you go through your spiritual awakening. And I think what happened with me was I went through the the introduction to this. It's like I was going through the school of white lighters. I went through this first time when I first had the spiritual awakening, and I learned all this stuff. And then suddenly they've gone, bang, giving me, right, this is your true spiritual awakening. You're going to kill your ego. You're going to learn about, you're going to go into the dungeon and grab all that real dirty shit that happened when you were a bloody kid, and or whatever, the bloody inner child will be actually healed. You're going to actually deal with it. And, then you come forth and you go, holy shit. Okay, it's like I've had a big shit. No, Sarah, you just feel like, hang on. And then you come out this new person. It's like walking through. I know you see those shows where people walk down drenched like a bloody, and then they walk through the white, and then suddenly they're all walking out like this.
Yeah.
They go, hang on, I've transformed into something. And people can't work it out. The thing is, with what you were just saying, mate, I can pick up the shit now, man. I can't be around people.
There's a lot of people I don't want to be. Yeah, when I go in public, it's not a paranoid, but I have it just
No, it's just the energy side of it. I can just go, hang on.
It's a lot of chaos. I think it's really important to go within right now in general. Meditate more, and like I said, with the veil being thinner, you have more guidance, to your spirit guides, to your higher self, and I think it's really important to tap in more. Even with nature, just me going out in nature, doing that, doing things where I'm putting my phone away, and I'm just kind of like being in the present moment. Because even meditation could be just. It doesn't always have to be you doing it. Like, you just meditating is also being in the present moment,
Yes.
Being in oneness with everything, like out in nature. I'm very called to be in nature a lot now, like a lot more, like away from people. And as soon as I went back from nature where people were in stores and stuff, I was like, oh no, it's time to go.
It's a case of like, it's just, you see a new vibrant, like I think we're all coming into ourselves, and we really got to bat. And that's why I said that I had this thing yesterday. I'm sitting there going, and I saw this, I got this message from a video I was watching. They go, something's sort of still blocking you a little bit to let this thing flow. And the let it flow for me is just actually do what we're doing now. We're all coming into ourselves. It is happening, but it's a case of actually really embracing it. And I think as people that haven't embraced what we love now, we're still getting into that mode. It's going to come because it's going to be, we're still walking what we walk. It's just basically, here I am. It's like walking out butt naked and go, rightio, bad luck. That's what you see, and that's it. We don't have that fear of going, look at that, whatever you may be, of being exactly who you are. And then you're still walking out butt naked, go, this is how I am, take me or leave me.
Yeah.
But that's walking into a mirror of yourself. You look at yourself in the mirror and go, take me as I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, if you had came up to the me of like 5 years ago and said, hey, you're a witch and you're going to start embracing this, like this is who you are, I'd have been like, get bent. Like, get out of here. That's not like, no, like, you don't know me. And I probably would have had a good laugh. And now here I am being like, no, like I'm just, this is what I've become. This is who I'm happy to be. I'm happy to be in tune with nature and my body. I'm happy to be the kind of person that will pick up garbage that doesn't belong to me when I'm in the forest. Like,
that's part of connecting with nature too.
He got so mad at me the other day because I just like started picking up soggy garbage, and he's like, what are you doing? You're not wearing gloves. I'm like, I don't fucking care. I'm fine. I'm not going to get sick from this. And like, I actually, you know what's really funny? I didn't get sick from that because like I was already feeling this on that day. But yeah, it was just really funny that he's like, you're going to get sick. I'm like, I'm already sick. Like, what does it matter? And
I can't get any worse.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm going to get sicker if I leave this garbage here because this planet is me. Like, this is a representation of my body and everybody else's body. And if we're going to just allow there to be trash all over it, like, we're not taking care of ourselves. Because if we're all one and we're all one with the planet and we allow for this to just sit here, we're not being conscious beings here. We're not doing something about it. We're just being like, oh, look, garbage, and walking away and letting it fester. That's not right. And that's not healthy for the planet or for us. So I started picking up the garbage, and I didn't give a fuck what he said. I'm just like, yeah, I'm touching the soggy garbage. I don't give a shit. This is important. And like I do that a lot. And like I kind of actually prefer to go to the woods by myself so that I can pick up soggy garbage without being judged about it because I think it's important. And like that's just what I do. And like if you had told me 5 years ago that that's something that I would be doing right now, I'd be like, I don't do that. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And it's like I've really
We all knew it. Let's be honest, we all knew it. Like I was saying, I'm watching
Oh, I
Charmed.
knew it. But did I give a fuck back then? No.
We did.
I was in my own little world of like, oh well, that doesn't really affect me. How often?
Well, we did give it. That's what I'm saying. We did give a fuck because we actually went against the grain, and we actually let our egos talk. I mean, as I said, learning how to get into that higher consciousness. Now that we're going really deep with this stuff, going into that, allowing yourself to be in your heart, bypassing your mind, which has been programmed into a certain thing. You got your mind is there for what it is because we live in this world. We need to use it and use it correctly, but use it to enhance our heart instead of our egos being said, you fucking can't get fucked. Well, I'm now going to fuck you up, whatever.
Yeah.
And then stopping you getting connected with the universal consciousness or your higher self.
Yeah.
So when you do that and you do feel, they ask you, how do you feel? You go through the transition, which is shit.
Well, the funny thing is, I notice when I do pick up garbage in the woods and I have it with the intent of, I'm not just cleaning up the forest, I'm cleaning up my body and I'm helping to get rid of the debris that's holding us all back. And I actually, every time I get home and I throw the garbage away in the proper receptacle, I end up with a really intense download. And it's like, it always happens within moments of me either getting to the garbage can and putting it in or right after I've put it in. So it's like the action of me removing that debris brings clarity and allows for me to have these amazing downloads. So it's like the thing that you wouldn't even think like, oh, how do I get downloads? Go to the woods and pick up garbage. Yeah. Nobody would think that, right? But it's like if we are all one and you're clearing up and you're creating clarity in the earth, why wouldn't that also create clarity within yourself to receive those downloads? If we're all energy and that's the way that it flows and the earth is a representation of our body, pick up the debris, pick up the clarity. It'll help bring clarity to your own mind and to your own body. And so that's sort of the way I'm looking at it now is like, how is the earth affected? What is going on the earth that I can help to clear up, that will help to clear up something in me internally? So even if it's just picking up, like yesterday, all I picked up was like a soggy 6-pack container. It was like one of those cardboard 6-pack containers and like an empty can that didn't even go with that container. And I just like put them together. I brought them home. And then I had an awesome download about the masculine and feminine energy and why women are having so much trouble communicating specific topics with men. And like, it was really interesting download. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like that makes communicating with men a whole lot easier in my mind.
Yeah.
So like, but if I feel like if I didn't pick up that garbage, I would not have gotten that information. So I don't know. It's interesting. We are all very connected to nature and like just the connection in like I don't even know where I'm going with this. Just like the connections. We have to pay attention to the connections. And stop being so in our ego and thinking nothing affects you because it all affects you. Everything that happens on this planet is affecting you, whether you believe it or see it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
one of the biggest things that I learned, like as a witch, is like everything that you do affects.
Has a ripple. It ripples out in everything you say, in your thoughts, your feelings. Like everything has an after effect, and words are spells. What you learn from words are spells, you know that. Yeah.
We as I said, we're part of the our higher consciousness, which is connected to the universe. So we've all gone through something to wake us all up. Obviously, you go through the witchy poo. I've got the twin flame stuff going, which has woken me right up, and Di's gone through the same sort of thing. So
so have I. I've just like I've had.
Oh yeah, but your witchy stuff is working
myself from my situation because it wasn't good for anybody. I'm working on it from afar now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, freaking
I don't have a fucking choice.
They say good luck. Yeah, fuck me.
It's a lot. It's deep, man. All I gotta say is, without saying too much on it, it goes very deep, and I'm like, oh man.
Have fun, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't say,
come and talk to us.
Don't say that. Yeah, it's just never mind. Yeah. But
we're experts.
But it can be fulfilling too once you work from it. It will help you become your best version. Work through the things that have been holding you back, bring awareness to things that you didn't know were an issue or things that need healing. So I look at it as that way, just how we can be alchemists and transmute it. It's helping. It's showing you right there what it is you need to work. And it's like it's a hard pill to swallow because you're like, oh man, I got to work on this too. But it's cool. It's cool though. It's very deep, like emotion. Yeah.
Bloody deep, mate. Bloody rips the soul out of you and just goes, righty-o.
Bloody hell. Yeah, but it's good. But at the same time, it's fulfilling though. It is. You know that
stuff you've been learning for so long in your mind? They'll whip your mind out and go, righty-o, here's your ego. Bang.
Yeah.
Now let's work on that heart that's been so hurt.
Out of the ego and into heart space is what I keep saying. I mean, that's on any level what we're doing right now with the frequency shift, whether it does on everything that we're working on. That's it.
Yeah.
And Pluto retrograde's coming, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that'll be our topic for next week. I've got to jump off. I
thought it is Pluto retrograde.
It's our topic for next week. I mean, sorry. That'd be a good one to talk about because a few people have been asking about what's going to happen with all these retrogrades and all this stuff happening since October last year, I believe. Since Halloween last year. Halloween this year is going to be the arse end of it.
You're right. Jay, you're always looking forward to Halloween.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it because it's going to be the end of it now. Then the arse end of it, all the good stuff, all the stuff we've been working on. This ascension is gonna show. We've been getting all these what's the word? Or anyway, we're getting all these things that are coming towards us that makes us believe in what we're doing. But it's all going to come to fruition after Halloween because that's when the veil will go again. The veil will start to close off. Pluto retrograde, all that stuff. I just feel it in. I feel it on that. That's what I'm saying. Nothing. Yeah. So it's all going to come to it's all coming to an end because that's when Pluto retrograde finishes in, I think, in the first week of November. So then, but yeah, be aware, ladies and gentlemen, if you're ascending, it's going to look really good for you.
Fun stuff.
But on that note, I'm going to have to cut this off.
Okay, we can go. That was a good chat.
But that was a great chat. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for joining us on Live Theories. If you want to subscribe, like, share, and tell us how good we are, that'd be fantastic. We've got Diana over there, Trailblazer the Universe. She's all over the internet, and her partner, Shane, if you don't mind me asking, is doing a wonderful job getting the message out.
Yeah.
They do fantastic things.
Yeah.
If you want to send her a question or anything like that, or give her a comment, please do so. We've got Witchy Poo down there, Raven, Big Soul Healing. Too early.
I mean, I
get it wrong every time. Get the balls on the mouth. Anyway, so you got Big Soul Healing with Sarah. She's on TikTok and Instagram at the moment, and she'll be moving to YouTube very, very soon. Myself, Journey of a Whitefeather, I'm on YouTube, and I got Words of the Warrior on TikTok. Also, I got my other podcast with Jackie Lyons, with Jackie's Soul Stories, where Jay and Jackie's Twin Flame Journey podcast will be on in about 3 or 4 minutes. So we'll be talking about that. Lots of stuff going on. And also I've got the big fella, Cortez, Medford, Hercules, Semen Retention King. There you go. You love that one, mate. There you go. We'll never forget you, bud. But he'll be on Spiritual Needs TV, and he's been doing some cracker stuff. He's been doing some cracker stuff on TikTok.
I'm like, whoa, yeah. I'm very entertained. Hey, he's on that journey again. I didn't even realize he was on the journey.
Let's talk about them, ladies and gentlemen. Jeez, we will get barred. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for joining us on Live Theories. Awesome episode. Thanks, ladies, for all your time as usual. Love you to death. Thanks very much. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Hit that button to tell all your friends, and you'll get all our content.
And we're also on Spotify, and we're on podcasts too. So if you want to hear just the audio, you can follow us on all major podcast apps. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google, and
Buzzspot. Is it?
Huh?
Buzzspot, is that right?
Buzzsprout is like the host. They do have like you can't listen to it on there. That's where our website is, but I'm sure most people probably don't know what that is. So I just say Spotify, Apple, Google, all major podcast apps. You can find Life Theories on.
Sweet as. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go. Take care. Be your best self. Like, subscribe, and share as per usual. And we'll see you next week for Life Theories. Take care. See you. Catch you soon.
Bye.